so on today's video, I am gonna go to Starbucks because they just released their fall menu. I think I'm gonna try the Apple Crisp Shaken Espresso. Let's go to Starbucks, get this little man a cake pop. Lincoln over there waiting, getting upset because I'm making him wait. But let's go. Here it is. I just pulled over so that I can try it. My kids are sleeping. Okay, this is good. And I'm surprised because last time I tried it, and it wasn't a shaken espresso. Honestly, it's the same thing. But they didn't have this sauce. And it's still flavorful. I mean, they have it now, but I'm saying like at the bottom, it's like pretty much all at the bottom. And it's still apple-y. This is the first one I'm going to try to recreate. I asked you guys on Instagram which one you wanted to see first, and it was between this one and the cold brew. But honestly, the cold brew, it's a fan favorite, I know, but I want to try to recreate the shaken one. So let's do this one first. Next time we'll do the pumpkin cold brew. We're home and I wanted to try, because again, this didn't mix into the drink, but I wanted to try it because I think that sauce is like apple flavored. So I want to try it. It almost tastes like the apple butter that I get from that farm that we always go to for apple cider donuts and all that stuff. They have this like apple butter. It tastes like that. And I feel like if I add more like starch to that butter, then I might be able to recreate the sauce. But honestly, I'm gonna show you guys a simple way to do this for this recipe. I've done this last year. Like I recreated this recipe last year, but it wasn't shaken. They just had, I think it was called like Apple Crisp Macchiato. This time it's the Apple Crisp Shaken Espresso. So I want to recreate it. Let's try it out and see what we can come up with. Okay, it's a few days later. I'm gonna use my espresso machine just because I feel like I haven't used it in a video. So we're gonna do that. Just choose your favorite espresso, preferably something that is more like on the cereal. You know, like if you use an espresso, a lot of the ones that are like cereal based notes are really good. If you have Vertuo, I think Orafio is a really good one. You're gonna need 2 capsules of that one. And then if you have the original line, you can do 2 Scuros. Even the Freddo Intenso is great. 2 Genova Levantos brewed as espresso. So you have options, and then a little more options for Vertuo. You can use a double espresso Chiaro. If you like a lighter tasting latte, you can do Dolce. I think I've even tried this recipe when I had, obviously the shaken part is just like for texture. I don't think it changes the flavor. I've tried like a Apple Crisp Macchiato with ice Leggero, and it was great. So you have options, but we're gonna do espresso. I'm actually using Brew Point's the Acrobat beans. They are by far one of my favorite beans. I'm just starting to kind of venture out into others, but that's what I'm using today. And then I'm gonna do 2 shots. Let's do that first, and then we'll get on with the recipe. All right, since we're using the espresso machine, we have to do everything manually. So I'm measuring out about 19.5 grams of whole beans and then running those through the grinder. And then if you're familiar with this process, you just do all the prep work as far as WDT tool, distributing, tamping, and then I like to end with a screen on top of what we prep so that it helps the water distribute a little bit better. It reduces channeling. Put the portafilter, a nice little glass under it, and watch the magic happen. Next up, we're taking an 8-ounce cocktail shaker with a little bit of ice, a tablespoon of this caramel apple butter syrup by Monin. I'm using this apple pie spice just to amp up the flavor a little bit more. We're gonna pour in our shot that we just brewed, and we're gonna give it a good shake to get that nice frothy goodness. Now I'm taking my cup and drizzling the edges with some caramel sauce. So good. Fill that with ice and a cup of Chobani Zero Sugar Oat Milk. Next, we're pouring in that shot, and look at how frothy it looks. Oh my God, so good. All right, here it is. So gorgeous. Give it a little mix and then let's try it. It's better than Starbucks. Like, no competition here. This is way better than Starbucks. So there's obviously a little bit of, let me put this camera up 1 second. There's obviously a little bit of a difference with the one with Starbucks. They have their sauce as a caramel apple flavored sauce. That's what mostly I think is the flavor. So I don't have that. The star of the show is definitely this syrup right here, which is essentially the entire flavor, caramel apple butter. If you guys ever go apple picking, you need to make this drink and go get your apples, because it's so good. And so if you still want that caramel texture, that's why I added Rani's caramel at the bottom, just for a little bit of visual yumminess. And then all that, shake it up in the shaker, and you got yourself an Apple Crisp Shaken Oatmilk Espresso latte. And you really have to love apples to love this drink. I know a lot of people will say it's not good. If you don't like the flavors of apples in your coffee, then you're not gonna like it. But to me, it's really flavorful. It reminds me of fall. It's a very cozy ice drink. And you could mimic this entire thing in a hot one, because I've had this syrup in hot coffee as well in the mornings. It is so good. You're obviously not gonna shake it or do any ice and stuff like that, but you can essentially do the same thing. You could still add your caramel on top of your frothed milk, a tablespoon of this syrup, coffee, oat milk. It is really delicious. Last year they did their Apple Crisp Macchiato, which I do have a recipe for that one. It's honestly very, very similar. So if you want to check it out, I'll link it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little recipe of how to make Apple Crisp Shaken Espresso. If you like it, or if you even try it, please tag me on Instagram. Follow me here. This is my handle. Tag me on there, because I would love to see all of your recreations of this drink. And if you just stumbled upon this video and don't follow me at all, make sure to subscribe, because I'm gonna start rolling out more fall recipes, but I do have some from last year. So I'll link some of those in the description box, and make sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss the new ones. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.